Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Sri Krishna Chaitanya book compilation given by His Holiness Jaya Pataka Swami Maharaj on December 9th, 2021 in Sri Mayapur, India.
Pangum langa yate girim
Yachifadavan Mande
Shri Gurum Deenatarinam
Paramananda Madhavam
Shri Chaitanya Mishwaram.
Harihi Om Sat Sat.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please. Today we will be continuing with the compilation of Shri Krishna Chaitanya book. Today's chapter is entitled Definition of Love of Krishna, under the section Life's Ultimate Goal, Love of Godhead. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.1. Today we are starting with a new chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chiradatam nijagupta vittam swaprema nama amritamadhyutaraha aparamyo vitatara gauraha Krishna janibhya sammaham prapadye. The most munificent Supreme Personality of Godhead, known as Gaura Krishna, distributed to everyone, even to the lowest of men, his own confidential treasury in the form of the nectar of love of himself and the holy name. This was never given to people at any time before. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto him.
Our Lord Chaitanya was giving out his pure love.
Our Lord Chaitanya was giving out his pure love
To everyone freely.
to everyone freely.
It's something that never happened before.
Is that something never happened before?
Even Krishna, to get his pure love,
Even Krishna, to get his pure love,
one had to surrender.
one has to surrender.
But Lord Chaitanya was so merciful
But Lord Chaitanya was so merciful
that he gave out his love to people, fallen people,
that he gave out his love to fallen people,
just like chanting the holy names of Krishna.
just by chanting the holy names of Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.3.
শ্রী সনাতন শিক্ষার প্রয়োজন কৃষ্ণ প্রেম বর্ণন অবিধেয় সাধন ভক্তির ফলে প্রয়োজন রূপ সাধ্য প্রেম ভক্তি কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি ফলে প্রেম প্রয়োজন যাহার শ্রবণে হয় ভক্তি রস জ্ঞান.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, Now hear, O Sanatan, about the result of devotional service, which is love of Godhead, life's ultimate goal. One who hears this description will be enlightened in the transcendental mellows of devotional service.
Every religion says we should love God.
Every religion says we should love God.
Lord Jesus Christ gave that as his first commandment.
Lord Jesus Christ gave as his first commandment.
Like this, you find in all the bona fide religions the idea that one should love God.
That like this we find in all the bona fide religion the idea of one should love God.
But Lord Chaitanya, by giving this process of Bhakti Yoga,
But Lord Chaitanya, by giving this process of Bhakti Yoga,
unalloyed devotional service,
unalloyed devotional service,
spontaneously
offered,
one gets love of Krishna,
one gets love of Krishna,
love of God.
love of God.
This is the highest perfection of human life.
This is the highest perfection of human life. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.4
ভাব বা রতি প্রেমের তরল বা অঙ্কুর অবস্থা, গাঢ় বা পক্ক অবস্থায় উহাই প্রেম। কৃষ্ণের রতি গাঢ় হইলে প্রেম অভিধান, কৃষ্ণ ভক্তি রসের সেই স্থায়ী ভাবনাম।
When affection for Krishna becomes deeper, one attains love of Godhead in devotional service. Such a position is called Sthai Bhav, permanent enjoyment of the mellows of devotional service to Krishna.
Actually, people are all searching how to be happy.
Actually, people are all searching how to be happy.
Our Lord Chaitanya giving the world is the highest happiness.
What Lord Chaitanya is giving this world is the highest happiness.
That we should understand.
That we should understand.
The love of Godhead is the highest enjoyment.
That love of Godhead is the highest enjoyment. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.5
ভাবের সংজ্ঞা, স্বরূপ ও তটস্থ লক্ষণ ভক্তিরসামৃত সিন্ধু 1:3-1
Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma Prema Suryamshu Samya Bhag Ruchibis Chitta Mrishnya Kridasau Bhava Uchyate. When devotional service is executed on the transcendental platform of pure goodness, it is like a sun ray of love for Krishna. At such a time, devotional service causes the heart to be softened by various tastes, and one is then situated in bhav, emotion. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada, this verse is found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.3.1.
So one who wants to get pure love for Krishna,
One who wants to get pure love for Krishna,
don't ask Krishna for anything material in place of their devotional service.
doesn't ask Krishna anything material in place for their pure devotional service.
They simply offer their service to Krishna,
They simply offer their service to Krishna,
and in this way they develop spontaneous love and bhava, emotions.
in this way they develop spontaneous love or bhava or emotion. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.6
প্রেমের লক্ষণ বর্ণন। এই দুই ভাবের স্বরূপ তটস্থ লক্ষণ, প্রেমের লক্ষণ নেবে শুনো সনাতন।
Bhav, emotion, has two different symptoms, constitutional and marginal. Now, my dear Sanatan, listen to the symptoms of love. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. The word Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma means situated on the transcendental platform of pure goodness. In this way, the soul is purified of all material contamination, and this position is called Sarupa Lakshana, the constitutional symptom of bhava, emotion. By various stages, one's heart is softened, and there is an awakening of one's loving propensity to render spontaneous service to the Lord. This is called Tatastha Lakshan, the marginal symptom of bhav.
One's constitutional position of love of Godhead,
One's constitutional position of love of Godhead,
one is free of all material identification.
one is free from all material identification.
And the marginal symptom is that
And the marginal symptom is that
one is awakened to rendering spontaneous service
one is awakened to rendering spontaneous devotional service
to the Lord.
to the Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.7
প্রেমের সংজ্ঞা ভক্তিরসামৃত সিন্ধু 1:4-1
Samyan Mashrinita Swanto Mamatvat Tishayankitaha Bhava Saeva Sandaratma Buddhai Prema Nigatyate. When that bhava softens, the heart completely becomes endowed with great feeling of possessiveness in relation to the Lord and becomes very much condensed and intensified. It is called prema, or love of Godhead, by learned scholars. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This verse is also found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4.1.
Bhava is manifested with the 8 ecstatic symptoms.
So bhava is manifested with the 8 ecstatic symptoms.
That gradually softens the heart,
That gradually softens the heart,
and one is further purified and very possessive
and one is further purified and very possessive
of the Supreme Lord.
of the Supreme Lord,
Then that is considered as prema.
and that is considered as prema. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.8.
পঞ্চরাত্র মতে প্রেমের সংজ্ঞা ভক্তিরসামৃত সিন্ধু 14.2 ধৃত নারদ পঞ্চরাত্র বচন।
Ananya Mamata Vishnu Mamata Prema Sangata Bhaktirityuchyate Bhishma Prahladodhava Naradaihi. When one develops an unflinching sense of ownership or possessiveness in relation to Lord Vishnu, or in other words, when one thinks Vishnu and no one else to be the only object of love, such an awakening is called bhakti, devotion, by exalted persons like Bhishma, Prahlada, Uddhava, and Narada. Purport by Srila Prabhupada is Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This verse quoted from the Narada Pancharatra is found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4.2.
In the material world, we love so many things.
So in this material world, we love so many things.
Our parents,
Our parents,
our society,
our society,
our culture, our nation.
our nation.
Some people love cars
Some people love cars
and machines.
and machines.
But when you actually only love Krishna,
When you actually and only love Krishna,
our Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord,
or Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord,
that is considered as pure love of Godhead.
and then that is considered as pure love of Godhead. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.9.
প্রেম ভক্তি লাভের ক্রমপন্থা। প্রথমে শ্রদ্ধা হইতে আসক্তি পর্যন্ত অবিধেয় সাধন ভক্তি ও পশ্চাৎ রতি বা ভাব ভক্তির উদয়। রতি ঘনীভূত হইলে প্রয়োজন প্রেম ভক্তি। কোন ভাগ্যে কোন জীবের শ্রদ্ধা যদি হয় তবে সেই জীব সাধু সঙ্গ করায়।
If by good fortune a living entity develops faith in Krishna, he begins to associate with devotees.
Here, Lord Chaitanya is expressing the step-by-step process.
Here Lord Chaitanya is expressing the step-by-step process.
First, one has faith,
First one has faith,
and then one associates with devotees.
then one associates with devotees. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.10.
সাধু সঙ্গ হইতে হয় সর্বন কীর্তন সাধন ভক্তে হয় সর্ব অনর্থ নিবৃত্তন।
When one is encouraged in devotional service by the association of devotees, one becomes free from all unwanted contamination by following the regulative principles and chanting and hearing.
One, by associating with devotees,
One, by associating with devotees,
starts to practice devotional service,
starts to practice devotional service,
specifically hearing and chanting,
specifically hearing and chanting,
and just get purified,
and thus gets purified,
as explained above.
as explained above. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.11.
অনর্থ নিবৃত্তি হইলে ভক্তি নিষ্ঠা হয়, নিষ্ঠা হইতে শ্রবণাদে রুচি উপজয়।
When one is freed from all unwanted contamination, he advances with firm faith. When firm faith in devotional service awakens, a taste for hearing and chanting also awakens.
This explains how one gets rid of
So this explains how one should get rid of
all the unwanted habits,
all the unwanted habits,
become fixed up in steady devotional service.
become fixed up in steady devotional service.
By performing that,
By performing that,
one gets taste or ruchi
one gets taste or ruchi
for devotional service.
for devotional service. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.12.
রুচি হইতে ভক্তি হয় আসক্তি প্রচুর, আসক্তি হইতে চিত্তে জন্মে কৃষ্ণে প্রীত অঙ্কুর।
After taste is awakened, a deep attachment arises, and from that attachment, the seed of love of Krishna grows in the heart.
So, this just explains how one develops from taste or ruchi, how one becomes attached
So this explains.
or shakti.
So this explains when one develops from taste or ruchi, one becomes attached, that is asakti,
And he gets attached to love of Krishna.
and he gets attached to love of Krishna.
And the seed of that love of Krishna
And that seed of love of Krishna
gradually grows in the heart.
gradually grows in the heart. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.13.
সেই রতি গাঢ় হইলে ধরে প্রেম নাম, সেই প্রেমা প্রয়োজন সর্ব আনন্দ ধাম।
When that ecstatic emotional stage intensifies, it is called love of Godhead. Such love is life's ultimate goal and reservoir of all pleasure. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur summarizes this growth of love of Godhead as a gradual process. A person becomes interested in devotional service by some good fortune. Eventually, he becomes interested in pure devotional service without material contamination. At that point, a person wants to associate with devotees. As a result of this association, he becomes more and more interested in discharging devotional service and hearing and chanting. The more one is interested in hearing and chanting, the more he is purified of material contamination. Liberation from material contamination is called anartha nivritti, indicating a diminishing of all unwanted things. This is the test of development in devotional service. If one actually develops the devotional attitude, he must be freed from the material contamination of illicit sex, intoxication, gambling, and meat eating. These are the preliminary symptoms. When one is freed from all material contamination, his firm faith in devotional service awakens. When firm faith develops, a taste arises, and by that taste one becomes attached to devotional service. When this attachment intensifies, the seed of love of God, love of Krishna fructifies. This position is called priti or rati, affection, or bhav, emotion. When rati intensifies, it is called love of Godhead. This love of Godhead is actually life's highest perfection and the reservoir of all pleasure. Thus, devotional service is divided into two stages, sadhana bhakti and bhav bhakti. Sadhana bhakti refers to the development of devotional service through the regulatory principle. The basic principle for execution of devotional service is faith. Above that, there is association with devotees, and after that, there is initiation by a bona fide spiritual master. After initiation, when one follows the regulatory principles of devotional service, one becomes freed from all unwanted things. In this way, one becomes firmly fixed and gradually develops a taste for devotional service. The more the taste grows, the more one desires to render service to the Lord. In this way, one becomes attached to a particular mellow in the Lord's service. Shanta, Dasya, Sakhya, Vatsalya, and Madhura. As a result of such attachment, Bhav develops. Bhav Bhakti is the platform of purified goodness. By such purified goodness, one's heart melts in devotional service. Bhava Bhakti is the first seat of love of Godhead. This emotional stage is there before one attains pure love. When that emotional state intensifies, it is called Prema Bhakti or transcendental love of Godhead. This gradual process is also described in the following two verses, which are found in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.4.15 to 16.
Lord Chaitanya had instructed Sanatana Goswami how by practicing
So Lord Chaitanya has instructed Sanatana Goswami how by practicing
the regular principles of sadhana bhakti,
the regulative principles of sadhana bhakti,
one can gradually rise to the stage of bhava bhakti.
one can gradually rise to the stage of Bhava Bhakti,
One feels transcendental emotions.
where one feels transcendental emotion.
How in bhava bhakti, then gradually that intensifies to prema bhakti.
How the Bhava Bhakti then gradually intensifies into Prema Bhakti. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.14 to 15.
শাস্ত্র প্রমাণ ভক্তি রসামৃত সিন্ধু 1:4-15
Adho Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango Ata Bhajana Kriya Tata Nata Nivritti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchistata Ata Shaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Preman Buddhanchati Sadhakanam Mayam Premna Pradhur Bhave Bhavit Kramaha. In the beginning, there must be faith. Then, one becomes interested in associating with pure devotees. Thereafter, one is initiated by the spiritual master and executes the regulative principles under his orders. Thus, one is freed from all unwanted habits and becomes firmly fixed in devotional service. Thereafter, one develops taste and attachment. This is the way of sadhana bhakti, the execution of devotional service according to the regulative principles. Gradually, emotions intensify, and finally, there is an awakening of love. This is the gradual development of love of Godhead for the devotee interested in Krishna consciousness. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela 23.16.
শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবত প্রমাণ শ্রীমদ্ ভাগবতে 3:25-22
Satam prasangan mama virya samvito bhavanti hridkarna rasayana kataha tajjoshanadasau apavargavatmani shraddha ratir bhaktiranukramishati. The spiritually powerful message of Godhead can be properly discussed only in a society of devotees, and it is greatly pleasing to hear in that association. If one hears from devotees, the way of transcendental experience quickly opens, and gradually one attains firm faith, and that in due course develops into attraction and devotion. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 3.25.25.
So the teachings of Lord Chaitanya
So these teachings of Lord Chaitanya
to Sanatana Goswami
to Sanatan Goswami
about the gradual development of love of Krishna
about the gradual development of love of Krishna
are also found in various scriptures.
are also found in various scriptures.
So what he's saying is completely authorized science of Godhead.
What he is saying is a completely authorized science of Godhead.
If one follows this process,
If one follows this process,
they can advance step by step
they can advance step by step
to the ultimate goal of love, pure love for Godhead.
to the ultimate goal, love or pure love of Godhead. Thus ends the chapter entitled Definition of Love of Krishna under the section Life's Ultimate Goal, Love of Godhead. Haribo!
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.